What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist, Stokastic here in the Outchopper channel, coming to with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell goes a long way for me on this video, goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Tons of closing line value on the Washington first five, on the Washington money line. That's going to really be where my night is made or broken. But we're going to break down Wednesday here. That game is just about to start here in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to get myself flying through these picks. And, well, I spent a ton of time on them today here. 15 games, different hours of the day, tons of different weather. I'll talk you through a couple of specific spots that I'm staring at for that. It's a little bit cooler, not as crazy in some of these game environments. Still going to be hot and humid in a couple of them, but ball should be flying a little bit less just based on what we've seen here the last couple of days. Monday, Tuesday, pretty hot in a couple of these spots. We're seeing tons of runs right now. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, that's not all that surprising. Wish I really fired that one up, but either way, my allergies, there we are. BetMGM, we'll talk about them a little bit later. BetMGM, I just said that. Odd Shopper down below. We'll talk about them too. But producer Jacob's ready to rock. He's ready to roll. Let's get to the picks. Interesting pitching matchup right from the get-go. George Kirby. It's funny because I say this all the time where I don't like him as much as the public consensus. And yet I end up backing him in some capacity. Now, I'm not going to be backing him on the money line here. They're slight favorites over Ryan Pepiot. And Pepiot, he's been pretty good here. 27.8% K rate, 225 expected batting average on the season. You go into some of the game logs, you look at some of his last couple. He does have some hard hit that is popping up from time to time for him. He gave up, 2 earned, 5 earned, 4 earned. It's been struggle bus of late, but heads back home here for this one. He had been on the road against Pittsburgh, on the road against Atlanta. Hopefully the friendly confines of his own ballpark, and plus a great strikeout matchup up against Seattle. 27.7% K rate against righties, the highest in baseball. All those things should help him out. In fact, I just like the under of 7.5 in this one to get our card going. Small amount of exposure, early window, early game, first one on the slate. Small play, and right now they're playing yet another competitive spot on this one. Now it's 7-3 Tampa Bay. Never mind, that escalated quickly. LOL baseball, Pittsburgh and Cincy, they don't have any announced starters. They don't have any prospective starters here as it stands right now, but what should I talk about? Weather should be interesting again. Pay attention to it. There's going to be rain up there in the forecast yet again. I think it's Ashcraft. I think it's Luis Ortiz. Just Ortiz give up 10 hits and 6 earned. And we'll talk about it in the morning. Philly, another spot with a little bit of rain here. And Spencer Turnbull up there. Turnbull. Good stuff. We've got him going. Look at that. I can spell. And then on the other side of this one, absolutely nothing. Nothing to really be finding here as of right now. To the Detroit side, I do think we get a Montero start potentially. Kiter Montero. He started on the 29th of May here. Sounds as though he's going to get called up to take on the Phillies. And, well, I don't really like anything that I'm looking at for him. He's 23 years old. 4 earned there in that debut start. A couple of strikeout pitches. But, yeah, 8.31 ERA. That's not very good. This is definitely going to be Philly on the run line as a lean. Going to look at the team totals as well. We'll see what ends up getting utilized from the bullpen perspective. Kind of a surprising blow up there at the end. Implosion for Ranger Suarez at the tail end of that start for him. Shout out Detroit. Good work by them. 5-0 as a start for the first inning there for Houston. Hunter Brown didn't end up on the strikeout spot there. 7.5. I tweeted it out. I hope you've been following me over on X at Eric Lindquist. If you do, you're seeing that I'm trying to get early to a couple of these to really give you the information if I'm looking at a perspective ladder. And Hunter Brown opens at 7.5 deuce to the over. Absolutely asinine stuff. The books are really aggressive there. I don't know if it's like the post-NBA where they know everybody's going to be betting MLB and might gravitate around some of the same stuff, but we're not getting all of the same value we were earlier in the season in some of these spots. In Houston, well, they've got Arrighetti going up for them, minus 196 favorite on the money line. That is a wild number to be laying there. I would actually be siding on Colorado, and anytime you decide that, I'm going to side with Colorado on the road, you should probably put down the mouse, put down your phone, put down the iPad. But one hitter that I do want to back against Arrighetti is Ryan McMahon, north of a 250 expected ISO against righties on the season. He was the one guy for Hunter Brown that I was just like, get by him and everything else should be smooth sailing for him. 55.1% hard hit for McMahon, 364 xWOBA. I'm looking at Spencer Arrighetti. 37.9% is pretty decent for the hard hit. But did you know top 3 ballpark in baseball right now. Minute Maid, you do the 3-year rolling average, not going to look as good. You do just this season, the expectation for homers in Houston has gone up. I have no idea why. This round ball, maybe it reacts. I have no clue for it. All I know is I followed the data, wanted to throw that one out. Ryan McMahon, anything better than plus 300 is going on the card instantly. And by the way, Ryan McMahon was a lean like, just wanted it to be known. That's how much I like that play and how much I expect that to be showing up on the card. As for this game, we have Trevor Rogers, we have Brady Singer, and I don't really want to have anything to do with it. We have another weather situation where there are just pop-up showers that can come up from time to time. One thing I want to throw out there for the people, and this is something that we've done successfully twice now in the premium Discord over the entire MLB season, but if you see a mid-game delay or storms popping up in the afternoon, there's going to be a long window where they might start it early, but then a long window that might get extended into the evening. You're going to see arms that just disappear and end up not coming back into the game. Now, it doesn't mean you should automatically be taking under on outs and under on strikeouts in all of those situations, but I think there are a couple special ones where you can really pull the trigger and hope that you get that in-game delay if weather looks ridiculous. But that's not something that I can really make the judgment of at this point in time the night before. It's usually like 30 minutes, an hour before first pitch of the game when I really want to take advantage of it, because it doesn't even matter the closing line value or something in that specific order. If I think that there's a high probability of an in-game delay, you can make a lot of money. So that's something that I want to throw out there. You can short some pitchers, starting pitcher props. Obviously, you need the game to still end in a number of books and know the rules of the sports books you play at. It's going to be different from spot to spot. Now, that's enough about that. Rogers, I don't have a whole lot to talk about with these two individuals. Don't want to be betting anything here. We're going to be paying attention. I'm going to be a weatherman here. I'll just go Miami plus 1.5 here. I know nobody's going to bet Miami plus 1.5. I'm assuming that they're going to be getting like minus 135 or inside of that on this side of things. And well, nothing I have for perspective plays looks good in this. OS Premium Tools, Discord Insider Access. Everything is $14.95. The tools and the content and the premium Discord all together in one easy to find place down at the video description box below. You click on the link and hey, we're going to have a home run from somebody. If we have a home run from somebody, promo code DINGER will be live. Check out my ex at Eric Lindquist. $1 it would be for Odd Shopper if one of us can get that promo going across for you. Yes, I know that it's Wednesday, but Dinger Tuesday, if one of our homers from that sheet ends up going yard, nobody's yet, $1 for Odd Shopper will be live. So be paying close attention. Brent Rooker is on that one. That would be useful in the evening window. So yeah, go down to the link below. I will put an update in the chat. I will put a comment and pin it to the top if that code goes live. I repeat, if one of our homers from one of our Odd Shopper experts goes yard on Tuesday, Wednesday, 24-hour period, get Odd Shopper for $1 when you use promo code DINGER. Awesome stuff, friends. Back to the picks we go. This is an interesting one. Nathan Eovaldi, Colin Ray, and now we can kind of get the conversation started on perspective plays. Almost made this a lean like. It's going to stay a lean for the time being. I do think this is a bit of a pissing mismatch. I said that earlier last week too, whatever. Pitching mismatch. F it, we'll do it live. We're going to keep the tape rolling. Keep it rolling. It's like Scorsese, just, roll the tape and see what happens behind the scenes. I love chaos. But anyway, Nathan Eovaldi, he's good at throwing the old fastball. That's what he does. 334 expected slugging, 292 xWOBA. You know by now, though, that Milwaukee is my bugaboo. You know by now that they continue to surprise me when they have WRC plus numbers sitting at 114, tied for 5th best in baseball against right-handed pitching. So I don't know what to make of it. And also, Colin Ray, like this dude, 483 expected slugging. Really terrible. 3.62 ERA is good, but a 5.32 expected ERA. Pain and suffering is coming soon to him. Problem with this one is Texas sits at the bottom end, 93 WRC plus, even worse over the last 2 weeks. It is wild how bad this Texas Rangers team has been against right-handed pitching. But as such, Texas is still my preferred side on this one, purely because of Eovaldi. Maybe I look at the first 5 market. Maybe I look at Texas money line. I want better, though, than minus 105. I gotta think that this is going to be shifting their direction. I don't know. I'm going to be sitting and waiting and wishing. If you want to know if this ends up on the card, hit me up on X at Eric Lindquist or the premium Discord. Oakland and LA. And you know what? We're going to run back a little bit of hitter prop situations here. Joey Estes and Ronzi Contreras. Now, a lot of people don't know Roansy Contreras. I'm pretty familiar with because he was a young strikeout arm for Pittsburgh back in the day. Thought he might end up coming to fruition as something. Oh, no. No. That did not end up happening. That did. The suit is not black. Suit is black, not. Yeah. King of the castle. King of the castle. All I got for you right now. Joey Estes on one side, 44.6% hard hit, nearly a 25-degree average launch angle. I'm going to be looking at Mickey Moniak. I'm going to be looking at Willie Calhoun, even though he doesn't hit homers, apparently. It's just absurd, despite lowered fence down there in Anaheim the last couple of years. Taylor Ward, Logan Hop, even some of the righties I'll pay attention to. But this is really about attacking Mr. Roansy Contreras. Now, 40% hard hit, 438 expected slugging here for him so far. Pretty limited sample size. He's just 24 years of age, but we had a massive sample size on him once upon a time here. It's going to be a little bit of a bullpen ensemble. I think he might get a majority of the work. We'll see. He's only been extended to like 2 1/3. That's the furthest he's gone in a game here so far this season. But it is truly going to be something that closer to first pitch I'll pay attention to and find some type of value. But Roansy Contreras, a number of these righties in the Angels bullpen, I'm looking at JJ Bleday, 2+ bases. I'm looking for revenge. Now, it was just a small play, parlayed Tyler Soderstrom and him together in that. Ended up nearly +400. Very, very small play, putting them together. Complete failure on that one going up against Griffin Canning there on Monday. But in this specific spot, JJ Bleday, 344 xWOBA, 265 expected batting average, 447 expected slugging. Bleday, folks. Anyway, we've got an interesting one here. Washington, very, very important to me on Tuesday night. That game, again, we're 5 minutes from first pitch there. But Dylan Cease and DJ Hers in this one. Now, Cease had to go in depth because we've just had some weird outings. And I will say the barrel percentage rising up for him. Had 10 strikeouts against the Brewers, but gave up 4 earned in the process. 8 strikeouts against Oakland, gave up just the 1 there, but otherwise 7 earned against the Mets. And the Mets, I guess, are just hitting up everybody. Garrett Cole didn't stand a chance on Monday morning, Monday afternoon, evening, today, whatever today is. I don't even know. Why am I saying morning? Tuesday night. It's Tuesday night. Tuesday. Been sitting in this chair a very long time. It might as well be any time. But JJ Bleday from the last game here. I'm not going to be going crazy for C.J. Abrams against Dylan Cease, but I got to say, if there's going to be one person that I think really takes advantage of this matchup, got to be him, right? Yeah, I would think so. Anywho, Dylan Cease, somebody that I think is somewhat attackable. And so far from what we've seen from this Hers character, again, Hers car rental or pitcher rental, we'll pick you up. He's been good so far. 41.7% hard hit, 32.5% K rate, 210 expected batting average. No Fernando Tatis in the San Diego lineup. We're going to make it a lean like. +1.5 here, -130. Might even dabble in the money line, but I got to watch the game on Tuesday night before I go nuts on this one. Can't imagine what the comments would look like if they lose by infinity. All right, this one's straightforward. 10-8 right now. 10-8. We saw a crazy game condition there, that's for sure. I ended up not betting that over. Talked about the lean, talked about the weather, and it was playing small immediately. You knew that game was going way over. But I want to point out the other thing. We had a pretty taxed out bullpen on the Cleveland side of things going into that Monday game. We got that one across the board still with Cleveland, but they ended up having most of those arms rest Monday. Tuesday, they ended up using Avila, Smith, Barlow, Henches. We got a couple of these guys that I have to be factoring in a little bit, but at the same time, 9.5. We haven't seen Clase end up in there yet. He had been pitched back-to-back days. Maybe give him an extra day of rest here. We'll find out. They're up 10-8 going into the 9th. I bet we see him here, but that doesn't matter. He's Clase. He's the first closer on the track. But Carlos Carrasco, we know he's attackable. We know Grayson Rodriguez has been one of the better pitchers for the Baltimore Orioles. Has the strikeout stuff, but has to face those lefties that just freak me out. Steven, stop looking at me, Quan. Just completely smashing baseballs of late, even hitting homers at like massive +1,000 and better, +1,500 type numbers. Ridiculous to see. I'm always looking at the 2+ bases with our dude. Josh Naylor, put your hands up in the Naylor. He's good stuff. Jose Ramirez just keeps hitting homers in Baltimore. Left field fence be damned. But anyway, probably going to be on the other side, switch hitter. A lot better for power out there to right field. Give me the over of 9.5. Going to be a warm spot yet again. Does look like there are pop-ups. Again, kind of something that's existing everywhere. A little bit of rain, partial cloudiness that exists everywhere here, but wind blowing out yet again. 87 degrees at first pitch yet again. Over, please, yet again. BetMGM is good times, friends. If you haven't signed up yet, you go to the link below. You sign up, deposit $25 or more, play $25 or more on your first bet, and if it wins, keep the money. The money's good. But if it loses, well, you get it back in bonus bets. That's an awesome opportunity. So win, bet, bonus. Well, no, you don't get the bonus bets if you win. You win, you win. You play to win the game. Duh. But anyway, up to $1,500 on that first play. Great opportunity to take a big swing at something at BetMGM. Join another sports book. Get as many sports books as possible signed up at because, well, again, the name of the game is shopping for the best prices, then utilizing the market-based approach within your state and making you the most money. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. Started a little bit slow with plays here on this one. It's going to speed up, but two first fives that were kind of on my radar. One I pulled the trigger on, one I did not. This goes in the did not situation because I don't know if I have the cojones for it, but we got Yanner Rodriguez going up against Cutter Crawford, and Cutter Crawford has been flat out good. No doubt about it. He's been very, very good this season. Starting to cool down a little bit more. It's not going to be like 90 at first pitch here by any means, but still going to be advantageous hitting weather. And Toronto put the smacking on the baseball there up against Boston today, but 82 at first pitch. Calms down to around 75, 76, it looks like, an hour and a half into that ball game, but the wind continuing to blow out. Gotta say that that's kind of the main thing that I'm paying attention to here because Cutter Crawford, 36.2% ground ball rate. You start getting that thing up in the air, 30.7% fly ball rate. Might be a starting pitcher to attack in a weird spot. 421 expected slugging and 9% barrel percentage. That's up there. Yariel Rodriguez, only a 5.8% barrel percentage. 449 expected slugging is actually higher than Crawford, but a 40.4% ground ball rate. I think this just might be one of those spots where the entire field, the entire marketplace, if you will, is sitting there not paying any attention to Rodriguez, think he's a gas can, and Boston just gets steamed up as a major minus money spot. Toronto first five money line is very appealing to me because I do think you're going to get an inflated price just compared to what we have here on the money line. It generally is roughly kind of like, oh, you want to back the good pitcher? You're going to see that inflation on that first five, like the Washington side, like I talked about on Tuesday. So keep this one on your radar, but I think it's going to end up being a play once it moves north of plus 150, which is kind of what I expect for this first five. Toronto money line, have it on your radar. Haven't pulled the trigger yet. Ooh, check your ego at the door, Eric. Can I do it? Can I do it? I don't know. Let's talk a couple more likes. I repeat, Toronto first five money line, just making sure that you heard me clearly there. Thank you so much. Producer Jacob, double checking on me. He's got my back. We got 5 games to go. Hit the like button, subscribe button, notification bell as we talk about if I had my second favorite play on the card. This is probably my second favorite. I don't know how to confidence rate it other than just looking at EV. Let me look at my chart. We have no locks on the card today. This would be my third favorite, technically, by math. Math matters. But anyway, the New York Yankees, Luis Gil taking on Sean Manaea. Sean Manaea, friends, he is a strikeout arm, lefty out there doing things, whipping it around. But the Yankees, we'll say it's very surprising to see some of the Yankees numbers against lefties on the season. We just saw David Peterson mow them down out of nowhere on Tuesday. But the Mets, they're the ones against South Boston that are really good, but they're facing a righty here in this situation, so that doesn't really apply. But the Yankees, just a 103 WRC plus. I say just knowing that 100 is average. They're a little bit above average, but 14th in baseball. A lot of teams ahead of them against southpaws, and you think about the righties and Judge, Stanton, so on and so forth. All their other main pieces outside of Soto, Verdugo, they hit from the right side. So it's weird to see these numbers against Sean Manaea. You'd think they'd be higher. God, my allergies suck. But Luis Gil, oh, he just he did a heel turn on us, if you will. No? Okay. Luis Gil, he definitely got eviscerated last time out. Just was tough to watch in a lot of ways. And Baltimore will make you look silly from time to time, but it was weird that they don't go to Houston and get swept themselves and then lose to Cleveland on Monday, which was good for us, but staying that 4 in a row there. Baltimore loses after they just eviscerate Luis Gil and take down the Yankees. Oh, that was not an enjoyable experience for Eric Lindquist that day, that's for sure. But I think we're going to be backing them here right now. -138 available on FanDuel. There are some -145s other places. Anything better than -145, -146, anything in that ballpark is just fine by me as a half-unit play. I would be jumping in on it now. Here's Sean Manaea on the other side, a little bit more attackable. I get the Mets are hot. I get people want to talk about their streaks and their narratives. What have you done for me lately? The Mets have done a lot for people lately. Shout out Grimace. But shit, give me Luis Gil. Get back on track, young man. You got woken up. Yes, cool, good, great, grand. Don't walk people. That's the other thing. Like this one, Atlanta, St. Louis, we are looking at Chris Sale and Andre Palante. Am I really going to be backing an under here? Oh, yes, I am. Now, talk about weather. I've brought it up multiple times in multiple spots. This is yet another one to have on your radar, literally on your radar, because the wind is flipping from where it was blowing out to left field the last 2 days. And we saw these ridiculous Ozuna numbers, and we talked about that ad nauseum. But the wind's blowing in here now, 9 to 10 miles per hour at first pitch off of left field. So exact opposite wind direction. We also only have 85-degree weather at first pitch down to like the high 70s, which doesn't sound like a market difference. It's very different when you're going from like 94, 60% humidity to like 85 and 60% humidity. Just walk outside if you live in New York in such conditions and let me know how you feel breathing. Well, they're going to be playing baseball in it. And I got to say, Chris Sale, I think is really going to be in a good spot in this one. 31.4% K rate, 262 xWOBA. Nolan Arenado has not even been a shell of himself with a 28.8% hard hit, 298 xWOBA. And Burleson and Donovan, well, they're lefties. And that's where they've been doing a lot of their damage against righties. Let's see them face some southpaws, shall we? That'll help your run production. No, it won't, because those guys have been in fuego for them. And there I am talking about hot streaks. See, they can apply. Andre Palante, though, this is a weird back for me. This has more to do with the fact that he has a 3.8% barrel percentage. He is not getting bats out. But with the change in wind direction and with Busch Stadium being generally a little bit harder to be hitting it out of, I do think we find some success here. And they can just switch out Palante, go to some bullpens. He's a four-seamer, like nothingness, like four-seamer sinker, basically. Has a knuckle curve that, will show up from time to time, but it is a ground ball rate sitting around 60%. If he keeps the ball on the ground here, I like his chances of success against a very dangerous otherwise Braves lineup. -184, we're going to be staying away from that, but I like the under of 8. Second favorite play that would exist on the board. Yeah, there we go. There's the math kicking in. Oh, we'll get to my favorite play. It's coming up next. After this one, of course, Gavin Stone, Eric Fetty. I don't have a lot here other than talking and reminding you that the White Sox are healthy. Like, they're not as bad as we've seen the entire season. Like, they're not good. Their bullpen's terrible, but their lineup, I think, has major positive regression incoming for it because Eloy Jimenez next to Tommy Pham, Andrew Vaughn, Luis Robert, Corey Julks, Gavin Sheets against most people, 349 xWOBA looks pretty good. Gotta say, Chicago's not going to be as bad. Andrew Benintendi made freaking Bobby Miller pay immediately there in that spot. I saw a lot of people on LAD -1.5 there. I would have been on the Chicago +1.5 side. We'll see how that one ends up panning out. It is 3-3 top of the fourth. So a little bit dicey, a little bit of a sweat there, my friends. The Yankees -1.5. That was a half unit just evisceration, donation to the gods. But in this spot, let's shout out Eloy Jimenez. This guy, 2+ bases, potentially 48.7% hard hit, 454 expected slugging. Will not be backing him to hit a homer purely because of the launch angle. 115 batted ball events, 5.9-degree launch angle, going up against Gavin Stone, who's been good in the hard hit department. But I think we're going to be getting some value based on what I've seen with Jimenez's last couple of games. Maybe not if he just continues to hit the ball as hard as what he is. But anyway, that does it for me on this one. Let's get to my favorite spot on the board now. Good news, Anthony Santander hit a home run. That's good for me. Yay, woo. Anyway, nobody cares about that. Round robin. So we're going to get that round robin. Soto hit a home run. He hit a home run. Put 8 home run plays in the premium Discord. Round robin season. Hopefully we can get some evening action rolling. That would feel good. Seattle, what are they doing? 2 homers, but not either of the guys that I needed. And then we're going to the evening window. Does anybody care? No, they don't. Awesome. Cool. Let's talk about my favorite play on the board for tomorrow. It is a little bit exotic. It's a little bit different, but Minnesota at Arizona, Woods Richardson and Ryan Nelson. And I spent a lot of time on this one, but it was needed. Woods Richardson is not a very good pitcher here for my Twins. I just don't really like my Twins starters as is. Joe Ryan even freaks me out a little bit, even though we ended up on that under in this spot. Simeon Woods Richardson, though, 437 expected slugging, 10.6% barrel percentage. I just want to point out that when people start talking about home road splits, it's who are those home teams and road teams early on in a season, early in somebody's big league career? Because you go to 2023, he had 1 start in the bigs, 1 start in 2023. So basically, I'm looking at everything for sample size this season. Here are his last few starts. At home against Tampa, at home against Oakland, on the road against Pittsburgh, at home against Kansas City, on the road against Washington, on the road against Cleveland, we'll put 1 difficult, on the road against Toronto, pretty difficult. At home against Seattle, that's not going in the category. At home against Chicago White Sox, on the road against the Chicago White Sox, and at home against Detroit. I'm counting 2 total matchups, 2 of his total 12 starts that I would even call remotely difficult. He has faced nobody for all intents and purposes. And you look at his StatCast data, and I think that this kind of bears out what I'm getting at. 11th percentile barrel percentage. He is giving up barrels. He has a 4.07 expected ERA next to a 3.26 ERA. So people might see the ERA when they're pulling up their lovely apps, their FanDuel, their DraftKings, everything, yada, yada, yada. And it's got it listed there right next to their name. And it is a misnomer for Woods Richardson. He's going to take on an Arizona team that obviously has been in regression mode themselves to a certain extent, but they're neutral against righties. 100 WRC plus. We all expect the roof to be closed. You're going to be getting, extra territory out there. You get in Arizona, can play up for hits, but I am looking at this spot as an over for the first 5 because the combination of Woods Richardson plus gas can, flat out gas can Ryan Nelson is too much to be ignored. Ryan Nelson, only a 15.1% K rate, 9.5% barrel percentage, 289 expected batting average. And friends, you add in the characteristics that are the Minnesota Twins against righties, well, they've been much improved. 107 WRC plus, tied for the 8th best mark in baseball. Just a 22.1% K rate. Last season when we had Wallner up, when we had a number of these other pieces, this was more of a gettable lineup from strikeout perspective. Not that Ryan Nelson has any strikeout stuff. He really has no redeeming qualities as a starting pitcher. So I'll take a shot at his 4.85 expected ERA, 5.18 ERA, and Woods Richardson, 4.5 or 5. 4.5 is juiced to minus 135. You're looking at 5 sitting around minus 110, minus 105. I don't care which one you get to, but over 4.5 or over 5. Those are the 2. Let's party. Cubs, Giants. Cubs, minus 1.5. Absolutely nothing to bring up other than Imanaga. Regression mode. And yet I would be looking at Cubs minus 1.5 here potentially. You've got a first start for a guy potentially incoming here. This Bird Song character for San Francisco. Chicago just announced that it's Imanaga. That would make me feel better too. But a 40.2% hard hit. Just another good ballpark to pitch in here. But Hayden Birdsong, I don't really like anything that we've seen from him. He pitches in the PCL, which is a nightmare. So it is what it is. Does have, 14 strikeouts and 2 starts. So that'll be fun to watch. Curious where his K-props open against the Cubs. They could strike out. Let's get out of here, shall we? And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Head to the comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist on the board for Wednesday. If you have any locks, do let me know. Give me your best plays. Come to me with your plays. I would like them here. Feel like this is kind of a weird slate overall, but feel pretty confident about the plays that we did find there. That first 5 I really, really do like. Almost locked it. Ended up pulling back a little bit, mainly because it depends on the rules of your book. I want to make sure that we get that exact pitching combination night before, whole thing. Cool. Great, good talk. Thank you, producer Jacob. Let's get ourselves the heck up out of here. Until next time, friends. Oh, by the way, promo code DINGER, it's live, DINGER, sign up down below. Promo code DINGER, get OddsShopper for $1. Yes, you heard me. I will have something written in that video description box below for you. Cool, great, grand. Let's get ourselves the heck up out of here. Now, until next time, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the MLB streets on Wednesday.